as we are still, of course, reeling from, it wasn't enough that one of the most inspirational voices in our movement was assassinated in broad daylight. Now we have to deal with, of course, the disgusting people, both regular people and those in Congress, just desecrating his memory. And it's just really disgusting. And so you would expect, of course, that we're calling them the shitbag squad. They're at it again. I regret to inform you that the shitbag squad is at it again. And you've got Ilhan Omar, the brother lover, Ilhan Omar, who decided that now would be the time to start spewing out a bunch of hateful, disgusting rhetoric about Charlie Kirk.
I do believe those of you who are interested in rewriting this hateful man's history are full of shit.
Thank you.
Okay. Those of you who are interested in rewriting history on who this hateful man was are full of shit. I don't know. I think you're the one that's full of shit, Ilhan, because you guys have to keep misrepresenting the things that he said to try to paint him as some sort of hateful person. In fact, later on in the show, I'm going to clear up some of this nonsense, some of the misconceptions about what Charlie Kirk actually said. And we're going to show just how you guys are twisting words as usual to try to paint him and the rest of us, of course, as fascists and bigots. We'll get to that. Okay? We're going to be myth busting today, later on in the show. So you've got Ilhan Omar and her disgusting rhetoric about Charlie Kirk. And you know what? President Trump himself had something to say about Ilhan Omar after her disgusting comments from Air Force One.
I think she should be impeached. I think she's terrible. Is she originally from Somalia? So how are they doing this? How's their government? Do they have a president? Do they have a council? Do they have anything? Do they have police? I love these people that come from a place with nothing, no anything, and then they tell us how to run our country. No, I think if she got censured, that's great. If she got impeached, that's even better. They impeached me twice for nothing. Mm-hmm. And they impeached me knowing the Republicans are on my side, so they knew it was just, but they impeached me twice. She should be impeached, and it should happen fast, too.
He also, hey, you know what? Show me the lie. I mean, she comes to this country so ungrateful. She claims to be representing Somalia's interests. Like, show me the lie. She should not have access to Congress. She should not have access to, national security secrets. She should not have access to any of this. He doubled down on Truth Social. Ilhan Omar's country of Somalia is plagued by a lack of central government control, persistent poverty, hunger, resurgent terrorism, piracy, and I don't think he means burning unauthorized DVDs. Okay? Decades of civil war, corruption, and pervasive violence. 70% of the population lives in extreme poverty and widespread food insecurity. Somalia is consistently ranked among the world's most corrupt countries, including bribery, embezzlement, and a dysfunctional government. All of this, and Ilhan Omar tells us how to run America. P.S. This is the best. P.S. Wasn't she the one that married her brother in order to gain citizenship? What scum we have in our country telling us what to do and how to do it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. I mean, show me the lie. I don't know. I'm not in charge of making the nation's laws, so I don't know exactly how I would craft this. But I do think, I've said this before, I do think that it was a misstep for our founding fathers to not make it clear that we should not have foreigners coming in, making their way to Congress, and then lecturing us on how our country is supposed to be. I think that especially if you pledge your allegiance to another country, you should be expelled from, like, that shouldn't be controversial. You just shouldn't be in Congress. Now, I could go a step further. I mean, we could say just go back to Somalia. I'm being generous. I am being benevolent. Okay? I'm not saying you need to be deported yet. I'm just saying I don't think that you should be in Congress. I don't think that you should be representing Americans if you have allegiance to another country. Now, I also don't think that you should be representing constituents. I found this a peculiar post. If you're potentially involved in some sort of criminal ring, because President Trump also added, sometimes he posts this stuff and I'm like, does Donald Trump know something that he's about to tell us and he's hinting at it? He posted about a Medicaid fraud scheme uncovered in Ilhan Omar's home state of Minnesota with a whole bunch of like Muslim sounding names. Obviously, you can read them there. And he's like, does Ilhan Omar know these people? Are they from her wonderfully managed home country of Somalia? And I mean, they are, as our friend Logan Hall likes to say, they do appear to be Star Wars names. So you got to wonder, like, has he already looked into this? Are we about to see something go down with Ilhan Omar? And so you see this, there's more of a push for this woman to have some sort of repercussions for what she's doing, for what she's saying. For her hateful rhetoric, for the way that she tries to represent Americans. And you had Nancy Mace. She tried to have her censured this week. That was blocked by one vote. But I will just say, Laura Loomer tweeted this out. President Trump just called out Ilhan Omar for marrying her brother. President Trump can permanently have Omar removed from Congress by designating the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization. That's how you get rid of Omar and Tlaib, because they have taken money from, she writes, MB. Of course, that's the Muslim Brotherhood. And you know what? I think we should. I'm 100% for that. There is a bill that was introduced by Nancy Mace as well, which, listen, I have my own personal gripes with Nancy Mace, but I can't argue that designating the bill would designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a terror organization. I have absolutely no problem with that. That should 100% happen. Ilhan Omar has had, for a very long time, there's been talk of Ilhan Omar having links to the Muslim Brotherhood. And she also, let's not forget, that when we were talking about, she was discussing what happened on September 11th, she minimized it and downgraded it to this.
Ilhan Omar under fire again after telling the Council on American Islamic Relations, known as CAIR, that the worst terror attack on American soil was, quote, some people did something.
CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
I just can't take it. I just can't take it. Some people did something. Some people did something. That's what Ilhan Omar thinks about 9/11. But she's going to come to my country. She's going to come from her shithole country to my country and come lecture me on what America is supposed to be, and come lecture me and tell me that a guy that I knew, who was one of the kindest men that I have ever seen out in, you can roll the tapes. You can just see it. He speaks with people he disagrees with. He is kind. He is civil. He wants to speak to the other side, which is more than I want. I can't stand any of you. And so this woman wants to stand on her little bully pulpit and tell everyone that Charlie Kirk was a hateful person and anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. F you. I'm so sick of this. Go back to Somalia. If you don't believe in the ability for Charlie Kirk to go and have a civil conversation with other people, to literally give them a microphone. Remember, they don't have to come up and talk to him. They choose to talk to him. They choose to have the interaction. He wants to have a conversation. And you're going to come in here and tell me that 3,000 Americans dying in a terror attack was some people did some things, but you want to go and talk about Charlie Kirk, an American Charlie Kirk, an American hero, Charlie Kirk, an American Christian hero, Charlie Kirk. Go back to Somalia. I'm just done. By the way, the group that she was speaking with when she said some people did some things, that was they mentioned at CARE, the Council of Islamic Relations. They do also have ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas. These are just not good people. It's just a bad idea to take someone who has all of these ties, who has all of these familial ties with this shithole corrupt country and be like, come here and learn all of our country's secrets. That's dumb. It shouldn't happen. This is what Dingbat AOC had to say.
We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was. His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans, far from the working tirelessly to promote unity, unquote, asserted by the majority in this resolution.
This bitch was serving up like Jack and Cokes 10 years ago, and she's going to talk about Charlie Kirk being uneducated. Like I just can't. I just can't. I'm just done with these people. But you know what? There is one thing that I am so happy about. I am so ecstatic about, which is that the masks are off. The masks are off at a time where the entire country, the average American, is horrified by everything that they've seen, is horrified by the fact that Charlie Kirk would be innocently sitting ready to have a conversation with those who disagree with him and just be picked off like that, publicly executed in front of the entire world. Everyone else is horrified. These sociopaths in Congress, these Democrat sociopaths are the only ones, and in Hollywood and in all these other industries that they've taken over, but these sociopaths are the only ones who say this stuff. The rest of America is hearing you guys. And they don't like it. They don't like it at all. And you know what? I am so glad. Thank you. Because as Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they really are, believe them. And you know what? I believe you. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.